Hey folks, it's Sam, and I'm talking today about the new moon in Scorpio that's happening coming up in the next couple of days as I'm recording this on November 28th. It's happening on November 30th. That would be Saturday evening. But as you see, the moon is going to be new in Scorpio, and it's going to be in Anuradha Nakshatra. And I'm going to be talking about that today. You see, it's also joined Mercury retrograde, but the moon is going to be new. These new moon cycles are the beginning of the cycle for that year. So we're beginning the Scorpio cycle. Again, moon is debilitated in Scorpio, some pretty heavy energy right now. So check this out. I'm going to be talking about the new moon in Scorpio with retrograde Mercury. And then I'm also going to be talking about Anuradha Nakshatra, the proximity to retrograde Jupiter, and things like that. Folks, as you know, 2025 is right around the corner. I'm making some readings to get you ready and get you on track for 2025. We have some big changes that are happening. Saturn is going to be moving into Pisces, where we're dissolving structure, whether we want to or not. Jupiter's moving into Gemini, expanding ideas, but also expanding disinformation and bad ideas. Nodes move into the Aquarius Leo axis, where we're serving culture or king. Also a lot of other things ahead, numerous retrograde cycles, including Venus retrograde, a lot of energy on Pisces early in the year. I'm doing these quick readings that are based on, I say quick, it's a 30-minute assessment of your chart, your dashas, and all of these shifts that are coming. So again, a lot coming up, eclipse cycles, and a lot more. So check it out and register for the reading while you can. Yeah, so it is a big year. Of course, every year is big, but there are big shifts. Jupiter is going to be moving into Gemini. Saturn moves up here. Rahu and Ketu move into the Leo Aquarius axis. So anyway, let's proceed today with what we're doing. We have this new moon that's going to be happening in Scorpio. Scorpio is where the moon is debilitated in its debilitated sign, and this is why things feel heavy emotionally, and where we can feel the kind of drama and the emotional pressure. And we've been feeling it since the sun has been in Scorpio, and Mercury stationary, retrograde, and has been there. We've been feeling this Scorpio energy for the last couple of weeks, again, since the sun moved in Scorpio and also since Mercury was there. But now, as we're getting closer over this Thanksgiving weekend and whatnot, as we're grinding up to that new moon, it's feeling even more kind of like that heavy Scorpio energy. That it's almost like a sense of dread or a sense of doom, or the Scorpio is these imagined fears, this vulnerability, and it's that section of the zodiac, that section of the sky that happens from Leo to Scorpio is where we are living this like solid life on Earth. It's like I'm this person on Earth in this body, and I want it to, last for a long time with my relationships and my stuff and my kingdom, right? And this Libra Scorpio is where the wheels kind of fall off the cart a little bit for all of us, because again, Libra is that illusion that we're going to have another person and we're going to be with them and we're going to be happy with other people and relationship, and then Scorpio is where we realize, okay, I got to find something deeper than that, because even if we have that perfect relationship that we think we want, even when we get it, it doesn't fix us. We still are going to have to confront our own mortality and those things we can't control, and that aspect of life where we know that we're vulnerable, and that, again, we can project that onto other people, and make it very personal and get very personally and emotionally charged up around the fact that we're not in control. And this is how Scorpio can really destroy our peace of mind. The Scorpio energy can. Or we can see things for what they are and realize, okay, it's not just this person or that situation or this desire or this wispy promise of the life I'm going to live, often, again, like with with a romantic partner or some happy life that we're going to live with other people, which is the Libra kind of fantasy. Once we realize, okay, no matter who it is, that I have to find a higher vibration for that energy, only then can we, forgive others. And again, it doesn't just mean romantic partners, our family, our friends, all of this stuff where we're still holding on and emotionally stuck, which is the negative quality of Scorpio, because it's fixed water, where we're emotionally stuck. And instead of being emotionally stuck with something that makes us, again, feel kind of paranoid and worried, we become more devoted. And it's more about the devotion, because again, Scorpio is also that sign of that fixed water, those things that we are emotionally committed to. Emotional commitment is also Scorpio, right? Very powerful emotional commitments where we don't just give up easily and change easily. But again, this is also where the kind of terror sets in, because once we become emotionally committed to something, if we lose ourselves in that, then we're like, oh my God, what will I do if this thing gets taken from me? Who will I be if this person or thing that I have this emotional connection to, this emotional commitment to, what if I lose that? Oh my God, so I better not lose it. So again, when Scorpio energy is gone awry, we get that, we then bring this pressure onto others and whatnot. And so in the highest sense, though, it's that deeper devotion, the deeper devotion to enduring teachings and higher wisdom and higher principles. So again, rather than seeing others as something that we have, something to possess, something that's mine and I don't want to lose. Again, this possessiveness, it becomes the realm of others is actually something that's more elevated, and we allow people to be free, and we become liberated and free of the bondage. And then all that energy in Scorpio becomes deeply devotional. So again, this is also why it's really important if people have a lot of planets in Scorpio. I don't have any planets in Scorpio in my natal chart, but we all have the energy. We all have it somewhere. But if you do have planets there, that part of you senses this kind of vulnerability, right? And it's very important when people have, again, like if it's the ascendant or the moon or sun or any planets in Scorpio, and particularly if it's like ascendant, moon, those real sort of pillars of identity, that you develop deeper devotion to things and not just be emotional about them. So again, this is why ultimately with Scorpio, we need to have that emotional courage. It's ruled by Mars, the emotional courage to face ourselves and face that vulnerability that I talked about, so that we can elevate beyond just our personal fears and experiences. And, again, it's very important because this sign of Scorpio will fall in different houses for each person based on your rising sign, based on your ascendant. And what I do is I also have, and I will be doing the member forecast. And for those who get the $9.99 Lemurian level, you get the new moon forecast and full moon forecast for your signs. And also a very detailed live video of the upcoming month, which is coming in December. So I'm going to be doing 2 of these videos in the next few days. If you're seeing this, that would be the very detailed where I go through every day of December and every one of the 12 ascending signs for every one of the 12 ascendants, this new moon in Scorpio. Because, for example, if you're Virgo, this is the start of a 3rd house cycle for you. If you're Aries, this is start of an 8th house cycle for you. If you're Aquarius, this is start of a 10th house cycle for you. It's different based on your ascendant. And again, of course, then we also have December 1st coming, and I'll go through each day of the month. And again, it's very easy. You can see there's a join button underneath this video, and you just click that and it opens this, and then you can just click the $9.99 level and get that. So very powerful. There's a lot of members and there's a lot of perks. But so this is also in the nakshatra of Anuradha, this new moon in Scorpio. And again, that new moon in Scorpio is very powerful in Anuradha Nakshatra. I'll talk about that in a second. You want to go to 2025vedicastrology.com for my free forecast on the 10 most important shifts that you need to know coming up in 2025. There will have implications long into the future, both collectively and personally. Mars between Gemini and Cancer from January 1st to June 6th. We have Venus retrograde. We have Mercury retrograde. We have solar eclipse in Pisces, Saturn in Aquarius. Rahu and Ketu move from where they're at now to the Aquarius-Leo axis. We also have Jupiter going into Gemini. All of these things are going to affect you, and you'll want to know how. So just register. It's free. Go to 2025vedicastrology.com. It's very easy, and you'll really get a lot out of this. Yeah, so 2025, right around the corner. And again, for that class, you also have this Jupiter in Gemini for your sign, because that's also going to affect each person differently. Again, like if you're Pisces, then this Jupiter is moving into your 4th house. So I go over that as well. So again, this is a free forecast for 2025. I'll have both of those links below the video here. But this new moon in Scorpio is happening in Anuradha Nakshatra. And Anuradha literally means after Radha or following Radha. Radha was the most devoted follower of Lord Krishna. And, Lord Krishna was a very romantic figure. All of who were called gopis, which Radha was one of the gopis, they all loved Krishna because he was so beautiful. He would play the flute, and they all had these romantic ideas about Krishna. Remember what I was saying earlier about Scorpio, this kind of romance, emotional, they all had this romantic idea that one day, they would marry Krishna. They would be his wife. But Krishna, he discouraged that romanticizing, that sort of possessive desire aspect, and told them, again, to favor and to bring more discrimination to the relationship, like a friend, like a divine friend. And Krishna found that resonance with Radha. Radha, even though she also thought that Krishna was beautiful, didn't lust or long for him the way the other gopis did. She saw Krishna as the God, as the divine friend. And he would set up games, leelas, to test the gopis. He would do little things where he would set up little intrigues and dramas where they would have to test and put into practice their level of spiritual awareness and see if they would, compete with their sisters and, backstab each other and lie and deceive so they could get closer to Krishna. By the way, any of you who's ever been around gurus will see that gurus set up these leelas all the time. I know around my guru Amma, it's very interesting to watch the little leelas, is what they're called, that Amma sets up, these games, to see what people will do, especially to get next to her, right? So Radha would always let her sisters go first, even though she also wanted to be next to Krishna. She was his most ardent devotee because she kept that spirit of God as the divine friend, not the lover. Think of your friend. Think of what you would do for your friend. And so this aspect of Scorpio, when people have planets in Anuradha, you'll see that they really are great friends, right? They're for their friendships. And in general with Scorpio, when Scorpio has friendships, as friendship, they're like the best friends in the world. Lovers, it's a little more complicated. Scorpio lovers, romantic partners are a little more complicated because they get those desires. But as friends, Scorpio friends, they're loyal to the end, right? As long as they have their independence and all that. But Radha or Anuradha is ruled by the god Mitra, which is God as a divine friend. And again, think about this aspect of God. It's really quite beautiful. Think about that friend that you would call in the middle of the night when everybody else would turn you away, but they wouldn't. You've just gotten in a terrible, terrible mess, and you've broken the law, and you've done some horrible, terrible thing. But you know there's this one friend that you can call who's not going to judge you, not going to, rat you out, not going to fault you. That's God as the divine friend. That's the way we're supposed to see God, as that divine friend. And I say God is really your higher self. But when your higher self, and again, like if you have a guru like Amma, seeing her more in that way rather than as in some other way. And there's a lot of ways to see her. Amma, the name literally means mother. So, but I've always really resonated with this God as the divine friend. It's a very pure energy. Because sometimes, mother is a very complicated thing. We can have really complicated relationships with mother, getting hugs and stuff, like with Amma, the hugging saint. But the divine friend, we all know what that is. And being that divine friend for someone. So what this means is it's that part of Scorpio that can and must bring more detachment, more discrimination from all of the psychodramas, right, of life. Now, again, this is also happening with Mercury retrograde, and this Mercury retrograde it just started, and I did a whole video on the Mercury retrograde where it's about unraveling that story, that kind of potentially paranoid story that we're experiencing, that we're living through, right? So this is happening within this cycle during this, pretty much this whole cycle, especially as we're having this new moon and the moon is completely dark and in its debilitated sign. This retrograde Mercury is there, like maybe creating a lot of these sort of potentially paranoid stories and things like that. So you want to be careful with that. And again, try to stay intelligent, use your discrimination, and remember this God as divine friend is very empowering. And we also have this Mercury retrograde aspecting up here. I'm sorry, Jupiter retrograde aspecting up here from Pisces. I'm sorry, excuse me, one more time, from Taurus. See, this Mercury retrograde is hitting me too, right? From Taurus. But it's very powerful up there, having this Jupiter aspect, the moon, sun, and Mercury, means that bringing these solid, powerful teachings into your life right now is extremely important. And look up in the sky, you'll see Jupiter's very bright now. He's about as bright as he gets, right? When he's exactly opposite the sun, he's extremely powerful up there. Saturn is also casting a 10th house aspect here and bringing this strong concentration. So again, even though this can be a time of emotional pressure, even some volatility, some sort of confusion about the story, there's also this hopefulness with Jupiter and Guru's aspect, and Saturn from Aquarius bringing this real capacity to concentrate your energy on, peace, stillness, and introspection. So again, like I said, if you want to know how this is going to influence you, you can register at the at the $9.99 level, and you not only get that new moon in Scorpio for your sun, but you also get the very detailed video of December, which is also coming up. And again, I'll drop the video links of the 2025 forecasts here as well. Folks, as you know, 2025 is right around the corner. I'm making some readings to get you ready and get you on track for 2025. We have some big changes that are happening. Saturn is going to be moving into Pisces, where we're dissolving structure, whether we want to or not. Jupiter's moving into Gemini, expanding ideas, but also expanding disinformation and bad ideas. Nodes move into the Aquarius-Leo axis, where we're serving culture or king. Also, a lot of other things ahead, numerous retrograde cycles, including Venus retrograde, a lot of energy on Pisces early in the year. I'm doing these quick readings that are based on, I say quick, it's a 30-minute assessment of your chart, your dashas, and all of these shifts that are coming. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel.